Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I do want to speak about the potential return of Sergino Dest and how he is blossoming as a left back with PSV and what this means for Alejandro Balde. So if you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys are Barcelona fans, this is going to be the channel for you where we do talk about everything regarding FC Barcelona. And also, if you guys want to join our Discord group chat, there is going to be a link down below where you can accept the invite and you go straight into the group chat and I can answer your guys' questions on there. It's a very fun place to be in. And again, I hope you guys do enjoy it. And if you guys like this video, please feel free to support me by liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. I would again really appreciate it. So let's talk about Alejandro Balde first, just to give you guys some context, and then talk about Sergino Dest. So it says here, according to Gigantes, that Barcelona have received important proposals from the Premier League for Alejandro Balde. The decrease in minutes of the left back has aroused the interest of European clubs. Jorge Mendes was in Barcelona last weekend for personal reasons, and he took that opportunity to also meet with Alejandro Balde's entourage. They are sure the player is satisfied at the club. So if you guys were wondering whether Balde feels a little discouraged and whether he's thinking about leaving Barcelona, no, that's not true. Balde still wants to work towards his position at the club. He wants to make the left back position his. Now recently, in the past 2 weeks, we know what has been happening to the player. The reason why he is not starting anymore is because Joao Cancelo has been performing better as a left back than Alejandro Balde. Cancelo brings in more goals, more assists, more attacking opportunities. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in the past 3 games, when we saw Alejandro Balde and he got those minutes, every time he makes crosses into the box, none of those crosses even meet the player. They don't go to Lewandowski, they don't go to Rafinha, they don't go to any of the midfielders inside the box. They all end up being intercepted or misplaced. And the worst thing from all of that is that Alejandro Balde does it over and over again. He does not change his attacking option, which makes him very predictable. And that is why many players know how to stop Alejandro Balde. He's becoming very one-dimensional. And I hope that in the future we see Balde reinventing his game, because again, I think that he's becoming very predictable on what he does. And that is why Xavi Hernandez sees Joao Cancelo as a much better option, because he can go out wide and he can also invert in with the ball and use his right foot, because he is a right-footed player that is able to take shots or provide a great outside pass. We can also see that with Joao Felix, right? He prefers to have Cancelo with him than Alejandro Balde. It just simply works out better. I don't know if it has something to do with both of them being Portuguese and they know how to communicate with one another, but the chemistry between Joao Felix and Cancelo is much better than Felix and Alejandro Balde. Another reason why Xavi Hernandez has been opting for Cancelo on the left is because it also allows for Koundé to be placed in the right back position, and that is where Barcelona become much more stable. Barcelona look like a much better team when they have Koundé on the right back position with Araujo and Christensen as a center back pairing, and then having Cancelo on the left back position. They're just much more stable. They don't concede as many goals compared to the team that has Cancelo on the right, and then you have Koundé and Araujo in the center back positions with Balde on the left back position. Having Balde and Cancelo play at the same time, like I have always said, is almost suicide. So there are many reasons on why we have not seen Balde perform like he used to, because now Xavi Hernandez has options. And I think that this is the perfect scenario for the player, because before Cancelo even arrived and before Cancelo was placed in the left back position, Balde did not really have a competitor. I think that he got too comfortable, and I think that every time a player gets too comfortable in their position, they end up relaxing because they assume that no other player can take their position because there is no other options. And especially when you're young, you know, you're more immature. You're not like completely immature, but you're more immature, and you just assume that everything's going to be staying the same and that your position is always going to be safe. But now the story is different, and Balde, Cancelo, and Xavi does know this. But now let's talk about Sergino Dest, because lately with PSV, Sergino Dest has really been performing. And remember, Sergino Dest is still one of our players. Yes, it is true that PSV do have a 10 million euro option for the player if they do like him, and it looks very likely that PSV would want to make his move permanent. But Barcelona always have that option to call him back, and Sergino Dest also always has that option to choose whether he wants to stay at PSV or go back to Barcelona. But seeing how he has been performing, he's looking like a top left back and a real competitor, and if he stays like this, he can become a real competitor for both Balde and Cancelo, and that's always good. It is always good to have more competition at this club. So recently against AZ Alkmaar, Sergino Dest did this. He played a full 90 minutes. He scored 1 goal, had a 90% pass accurate rate, 3 chances created, 2 successful dribbles, 3 duels won, 2 accurate crosses, 4 ball recoveries. And then even before that against Arsenal, he did like some sort of like elastico that surprised so many people, because they're like, wow, like how slick was that? That was a elastico that would even surprise Ronaldinho. And of course, it is much more than just looking at it as a elastico. What Dest is showing to everybody is that he is confident. He is finally showing that he is confident in what he does, because back at Barcelona about 2 years ago, everything that he was doing, he did not have much conviction conviction in whatever he was doing, whether it was defending, attacking, passing. He looked scared. And when you play at a club like Barcelona, when you make a pass and when you make a decision, you need to have 100% conviction. You need to go all in. Dest did not really have that, which is why we said Dest does not look focused. He just looks out of it. But now we're starting to see that at PSV, he is really reviving his career. There is much more flair. He's more filthy on the ball. He's able to create a lot of chances, score goals, and be very entertaining. Recently, Sergino Dest did say this to Di Marzio, and I quote, "It's a wonderful feeling to be back on the field and have more playing time. Of course, I had a tough time at Milan, but I'm glad to be at a great club like PSV and to be playing. The Dutch league might not be Serie A or La Liga, which are two major leagues, but I took a step back to take 2 steps forward," meaning that Sergino Dest is saying, I'm taking a step back on where I do play, which is the Dutch league, and I'm aiming to make 2 steps forward after this move, meaning that he is willing to take another step forward to a higher league, but with more conviction, and you come in with a lot of more momentum. And I think that that next step forward could be at Barcelona if he wants to. So this is very exciting, and I really want to ask you guys this: would you guys want to bring back Sergino Dest at this current form? Because hey, look, his profile already exists at Barcelona, and that is Cancelo. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Cancelo and Dest are very similar on how they play their football and where they are positioned at. They can both score goals, and both of them can play in the left back position and in the right back position. I think that what separates Cancelo right now and why Cancelo's at Barcelona and why Dest is at PSV is because Cancelo is just simply more disciplined defensively compared to Sergino Dest and more experienced. I think that if you get Sergino Dest at a much higher level with more motivation, with more conviction, with more confidence, you do get a Cancelo type of player. And he is still only 23 years old. So Dest can still grow and maybe even exceed what Cancelo is today. But Dest has to be under the right management, because if he's not, then none of this matters. Dest will never reach his potential. I don't see why Xavi cannot do that, because Xavi only gets the best from his players. He has upgraded Pedri. He did upgrade Dembele before. He has upgraded Frankie. He has upgraded Gavi. Yes, many have been talking about how Xavi Hernandez makes some players worse at Barcelona, but we also have to look at who he has upgraded before, because many people ignore the positives but love to bring out the negatives. Xavi has made Pedri, Dembele, Frankie, and Gavi much better players, and he can do the same thing with Sergino Dest as long as Dest also meets Xavi halfway. He's gonna have to want it, and I hope that he does in the future. So let me know in the comment sections down below, again, whether you would like to see Dest come back, or do you just want to move away from the player completely because you believe that he has had already too many chances. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.